We really did not get along.
In real life?
In real life.
I did not know this.
Yeah. Like
okay.
we didn't get. But every single week before taping, we'd come together, we'd put our hands together, we'd bow, and we'd pray before we go out there.
Eddie Griffin just dropped a message that has the internet buzzing. Was Malcolm-Jamal Warner targeted before he ever touched the water in Costa Rica? Some say orchestrated. Officials say accidental. Anything can be possible, but facts come first. Tonight, we put Eddie's message, the prediction video, and the beach timeline side by side to see what holds up and what falls apart. Did we miss the piece that changes everything?
Went through a period, I was having a struggle with hopelessness.
Oh, okay.
And it was just really, the world is just in a dark place.
For some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile.
And now, the day started like a vacation should. Sun on the sand, warm water on the Caribbean side near Cocles. Locals know the pull on that coast. Visitors do not always notice the warning signs. Authorities say a strong current pulled Malcolm-Jamal Warner away from shore. Bystanders moved fast. A vacationing doctor and rescuers tried again and again. Red Cross teams continued care on the beach. Reports agree on one hard center. Prolonged attempts. No pulse in the end. The official finding lists asphyxiation by submersion. The manner is accidental. Simple words that do not ease grief. Oceans do not negotiate. From minute one, this story lived in two places. The real beach with moving water, and the online ocean where comments move faster than waves. Which one pulls you under depends on what you read first. That is why we ground this video in the record that exists right now. If new facts come, we adjust. Until then, we start with what is confirmed, and we mark the rest as speculation. Did the very first headline you saw shape your belief before the later corrections landed?
I am in shock and disbelief, not just that this possibly happened, most likely happened, but also how this has been communicated. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and according to a new report from TMZ, they exclusively share that Malcolm-Jamal Warner has died at just 54 years.
Breaking news rarely arrives complete. Early articles said he was swimming with his 8-year-old daughter and that surfers brought her in. That version spread fast because it felt heroic and heartbreaking at the same time. Then, investigators clarified the timeline. His daughter was safe on shore. He had entered the water with a friend. The friend made it back. Same loss. Different picture. Why does one line matter this much online? Because it shifts the emotional center. If a child is in the surf, the mind writes a movie about a rescue and a last decision. If two adults enter together and only one returns, the focus moves to physics and seconds. Both versions are tragic. Only one fits the official timeline that exists today. The correction did not stop the rumor wave. Screenshots of the first version kept rolling. People who only saw that first line decided something was being hidden. People who saw the update said this was standard live reporting that came into focus. Our rule is simple. When an official correction arrives, we log it and move forward. It does not make the story false. It makes the picture clearer.
We begin this morning with the tragic death of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Authorities say he drowned while on vacation with his family in Costa Rica.
Warner, of course.
While the feeds argued, Eddie Griffin posted a short tribute that landed like a heavy stone. He honored Malcolm as a father and a friend. He described a brother he went to war against the Hollywood machine, and sometimes with each other. The love stayed. That hit because everyone remembers the years when Eddie and Malcolm clashed on set. They later reconciled. So the internet reads between the lines. Threads claimed Eddie believes there is more here. Eddie did not make that accusation in public. He did what people do when the ground gives way. He spoke to the man he knew and kept it tight. Grief says less when the feeling is more. That kind of message draws two reactions. One side hears respect, the other hears a warning shot. Both can be true as feelings. Only one changes the record.
Right off the bat, the internet seemed very perplexed about how does an accidental drowning occur. I immediately thought of Matthew Perry and Whitney Houston. They had the same cause of death, so we know where that came from.
Not Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Not Malcolm. Not Theo. Theodore Huxtable? Oh, that family. Oh, Jesus. Y'all, that funeral gonna be rough. That's gonna be a rough funeral. We gonna hear from Felicia Rashad as she says bye to her son. We gonna hear from his family. We gonna hear from.
Another spark came from a viral clip. A spiritual analyst recorded days earlier said a celebrity would go on vacation and not return. After the news broke, that video spread everywhere. Coincidence is a powerful glue. Once a tragedy happens, the mind looks back and searches for signs. A match looks obvious after the fire starts. A prediction can be sincere and still be impossible to test. It can be moving without proving a plot. It can be interesting without changing the beach physics we just covered. If a claim wants to replace the official cause or manner, it needs more than a match after the fact. It needs names, places, and documents that can be checked.
No one realized that Malcolm-Jamal Warner's death was not an accident. His last few words before his death revealed a chilling message. Recently, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, a well-known actor who starred in The Cosby Family, drowned while on vacation with his family. As the investigation deepened, 3 details showed that this was not an accident. First, Malcolm-Jamal Warner posted a video on social media before his death. In the video, he wore a yellow flower given to him by his daughter behind his ear and had a calm smile on his face. However, at the end of the video, he suddenly said, "I'll be back soon." Is this a veiled hint that he had foreseen something? Second, the official statement is that he was swept away by the ocean current. But those who are familiar with him know that he is an extremely cautious person who never takes risks easily. How could he suddenly make such a
Old interview clips surged where Malcolm talked about longevity and integrity. He said no to roles that would make him ashamed later. He credited family and mentors for keeping him steady when the heat rose and fell. Commenters connected that mindset to a darker claim. They said he was getting ready to expose powerful people and that someone moved first. Here is the line we hold. The interviews are real. The leap to a covert plot is not verified. If someone can bring forward a name, a timeline, and evidence that does not erase the official record, the conversation changes. Until then, we mark it as unproven. There is a reason this claim resonates. When a loss feels senseless, a hidden design feels safer than chaos. The mind trades physics for intention. It hurts less to believe a villain exists than to accept that water does not care. You have seen the numerology posts. Age 54, 5 plus 4 equals 9, the number of completions. Episode counts and dates lined up in screenshots. References to famous tabletop simulations are posted next to current events. These patterns feel cinematic. They are satisfying to build. They also do not change currents, timestamps, or CPR on a beach. If you want patterns, you will always find them. If you want proof, you will come back to weather, warnings, responders, and a coroner's line. Both mindsets can exist in one person. Only one replaces rumor with reality.
His death just got even more mysterious. Officials say his daughter wasn't in the water, but a police chief on the scene says she was, and Warner died saving her. So, who's telling the truth?
Respecting the water is not fear, it is wisdom. Knowing this science does not ease grief. It might save someone else. That alone makes it worth saying out loud. If an online claim says orchestrated, what kind of evidence would actually convince you beyond a social post or a numerology chart?
Malcolm-Jamal Warner's mom finally broke her silence, saying Malcolm made 3 big mistakes. According to Pamela Warner, this heartbreaking tragedy could have been avoided. Unfortunately, Malcolm ignored all the warning signs. First off, he was way too careless. The beach he went to, Cocles Beach, is known locally as beautiful but dangerous. It's famous for strong rip currents, especially during monsoon or rainy seasons when the water gets really rough. Pamela said Malcolm originally planned to hike to some inland waterfalls, but he changed his mind last minute and decided to chill at the beach instead. He didn't prepare much or seriously check any safety warnings before heading out. Then, he totally underestimated the weather conditions. It had actually rained that morning, and the waves were rougher than the day before. But Malcolm thought that was just typical tropical weather and didn't cancel his plans to swim. The most fatal mistake was he trusted himself way too much. Witnesses said he was swimming alone far out in the water, while his wife and young daughter stayed on shore resting. When the rip current swept him away, 2 other tourists noticed he was missing first. Pamela still can't come to terms with Malcolm's passing. She choked up saying, "He wasn't a bad swimmer, but..."
Here is the core as it stands right now. Malcolm-Jamal Warner died near Cocles on Costa Rica's Caribbean coast. Authorities list the cause as asphyxiation by submersion and the manner as accidental. A strong current pulled him away from shore. A friend who entered the water with him made it back. His daughter was not in the water. Bystanders and responders attempted resuscitation for an extended period. He did not survive. Tributes from colleagues and friends describe a disciplined artist and a loyal friend. Everything beyond that core is either interpretation or rumor. If new facts arrive, we adjust immediately. Until then, we hold the line. Anything can be possible in theory. Claims that change the cause or manner need proof that can be checked. Screenshots, feelings, and threads are not that. Official records and corroborated witnesses are. When the next wave of posts rolls in, will you share what feels dramatic or what you can stand on without apology? Drop your answer and the one verified detail that changed your view in the comments. If you want more breakdowns that separate rumor from reality without losing the human story, tap like and subscribe. We will keep looking for the truth, even when the truth hurts.